Alright, this is the keyboard we're going to be building today. The box was a bit mangled when I got it, so that was like a little bit scary. Like, the box is like crumbled. I swear, like, sometimes people delivering these packages just like don't give a shit. um, but today we're going to be building the Nyawice, and I have the orange one. Orange. So pretty. So pretty. So cute. I mean, but you guys know that. Or the people who have been in my community know that I've been a huge fan of Nyawice since day one. And I'm really excited that the group buy is finally happening. I know Holly has been looking for a long time to find vendors to run the board. So glad to see that it's finally appearing. I actually don't know if the pink version I have is the same as the group buy version. I want to say it is, but maybe Holly can tell us. But have not seen the lilac or the baby blue. Oh, the different pinks. Okay, different pinks. Does this pink more purpley? I guess I'm looking at the render, so probably not a good show. Okay. Looks like Canon Case has already tagged me in the story, so we'll just repost that. Thank you. More pastel, got it. Got it. Usually I stream at times where Canon Keys can't watch because they're usually at home. So doing the afternoon stream probably a lot more convenient for them because they can actually stop by. Okay. But anyways, YouTube is on, Twitch is on. Let's do this. Alright, so today we're going to be building the Nyawice. This is actually in group buy right now. Actually open today and will be live until I think May 17th, so you have about a month to order it. I have the orange unit and I have a checklist of the things right here, so I have a couple things. Looks like there's only gonna be, oh, there's 2 plates, so we can do it both ways. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Alright. Let's see, I have YouTube open. Okay. Nyawice. So, this is the Nyawice. It's an Alice style board. Super cute, right? So, standard Alice layout, right? Except the main difference being you have the little cat ears, and there's just little details all throughout the board that really, make it special. So the first being, being engravings, so the whiskers and the little tilde heart. So it's almost like, mwah. Anyways, you have like the ears up here that do stick out. You have the little silicone nose in the middle that you can boop. And then you also have the LED indicators, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but they're little hearts. Super cute. So there's not really any like harsh corners on this board. As you can see, the corners are all very curved. The ears are a little bit pointy, but still curved. It has a deeper indent for, I guess, the ears, right? And let's see. So I have noticed this lip, like just like looking at my unit, this lip is a bit different than from the unit I have, but this version is going to be the ones that you guys are buying, right? But standard Alice layout, you kind of do have this little forehead thing right here, right? And then here is the side. Whoa, so this is really cool. So more of the heart theme going on, right? So I think it's on both sides. Yes. the hearts are going to be on both sides of the keyboard, but you have the heart cut out. And then you see the two-toned, right? So you have the top case and then you have the bottom case, which is the silver. I think they're going to be silver for everything, right? So the color choices that you have are orange, pink, lilac, and baby blue. And so that will be the top case. So just looking from the side, you have these engravings. You can see the cat ears, you can see the two-toned, and then you can also see how the top case goes over the bottom case. There is like a curve inwards here, so it makes it easy to kind of pick it up, because not only do you have the gap from the top case, but then this part also curving in, so it makes it a lot easier to lift up if for whatever reason you want, right? And then it's just curvy. There's just lots of curves throughout. So you see it here, you see it here, right? There's just like a slight curve here as well. And then you can see where the front lip kind of, you know, slants like that. And then the straight lip on the bottom. So that's the side. And then here's the back. So X marks the spot for the little butthole. And then you have the little tail. So this is like the quote-unquote accent weight that you can see right here. And then looking from the back, you can really see how the top case goes over the bottom case. You have the 4 adhesive feet. Yeah, the butt's really cute. Yeah. And then you can see the ears once again. So the back is pretty bare, minus like this part, right? But I think all the like details are going to be found like on the front. But it's a nice little touch. And then here's the USB port side. So it does use a centered USB port. And you can see the little ears. And then here is the front lip. So you can see where it kind of has this like seam right here. Front lip. So biggest things to point out is just the little nose, the little heart cutouts that you can find on the top and the side, and a little heart right here, the little special ears, right, that also make it easy to pick up for whatever reason, right? And then another thing to note is that there are no visible screws on the case, so they're all going to be found right here, right? So you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws all found right here. Let's see. So it looks like you'll have a choice of solder and hot swap with the 4 colors. The board does start at $465 for those who are wondering. Let's see. So for the mounting, Holly Burton pulled me from my 9 to 5 to be here. Oh my goodness. So this does use a leaf spring F1 mount. Okay, so any F1 fans out here, this board is not only cute, but it's also, you know, very, I think, well designed. Looks like it's a brass weight. So always a silver bottom, you can choose a top. Looks like the plates, you have a aluminum, PC, carbon fiber, FR4, so 4 plate choices. And then for the O-rings, you have 50, 70, or 90, right? Nyawice once saved 3 children from a flash flood. Oh my goodness, I believe it. Who took this photo? Was this you, Holly? Was this you who took this photo? This looks so janky. That's a render. I feel like if you're gonna render, you could have done without all these cables and stuff. I guess it makes it look like more realistic when you do that, but it just looks so janky. That's funny. Anyways, let's open up the case and see what's inside. I know many of you have been waiting for Nyawice, and it's finally here. Nyawice is one of the few keyboards I bring to meetups and also to, I've brought it to TwitchCon as well. Just to kind of, you know, get Holly moving. Just kidding. But I did bring it to Key Life, and everyone's like, when is this board running? So I'm glad. I'm glad to see it's running. Boop, boop, boop. I thought there was a keycap set, like the orange keycap set, where I thought Nyawice is going to be running around that time. But I'm assuming they asked you if they could use your board for the render. Which is so polite. This is screwed on very tight. No, not Orange Boy. I think it was a Milky Way set. I don't remember the name. Maybe it was for Orange Boy. I don't. There is one cat set. Oh yes, the Calico. Yes, that one. I thought you were gonna run Nyawice in conjunction with that. I'm glad to see it did end up happening though. Also, thank you for the shout out in your geek hack. That was so sweet of you. I was not expecting to see that. I actually sent it to my mods. I'm like, Sugar Mama status unlocked. It's like those badges you get like in WoW. It's like your titles that you unlock through certain achievements. That's mine. I've unlocked my Sugar Mama title. Has it really? I didn't know that. All right. So we have the aluminum plate right here. And then looking inside of the board, so here you can see where the O-ring is, right? So you have the two long slits on the top and bottom, and then if you look at the top case, it's the same thing here, right? So the O-rings are gonna friction fit into the bottom case and the top case. And then if you look at the plate right here, you can see the relief cuts on it. Hi Mango. So early, I know. I might be doing a IRL stream with another streamer later, so I'll do this now. Hello, Quan. How are you doing? Thank you for the resub, though. We're actually pushing for the plus tier 2 at the moment. So all subs help out. Thank you. It's 3 a.m. Oh my god, get some rest. Get some rest. Holy. At least it's the weekend, right? So I've taken that out. Oh, the PCB is cute too. It has a little cat right here. Okay, so looking at the internals, so I already mentioned how there are the two cuts on the top and bottom. Good night, Mango. Hello, Oxy. So it's interesting. So it does use a daughter board, the Molex cable, so the breakaway cable. Here you can see there is Nyawice, again with the little heart right here inside. So I'm assuming this is for the accent on the back, right? So it is a bigger piece internally and then with the little X tail on the outside. 2-1. Here you can see where the daughter board is screwed in, and there actually has been a cut right here, right? So the O-ring will go over this like little gap, right? So cut right here. Let me just bring it up for you guys to see. Oh, hold on. So you can see the cable will go through here and then through a little hole over here, right? And then you see where the O-ring would fit. There's this cut right there. USB port. And then you see this little accent right here. So it is a larger piece on the inside where there's also the Nyawice engraved on there. And then we can see where all the case screws are. So 4 on top and then the 5 on the bottom, right? And then these case screws are actually alternating. So what that means is the 4 on the outside, right? They have this little, here, I'll show you guys. So this is a case screw, but you can see it doesn't have a wall, but then you see how this one does have a wall. You'll see that on the other screws, mostly just on the outside, right? And that goes with the top case, where you can see right here, right? So looking at the top case, you can see how the screw hole, this one goes all the way, but then this one is cut off. So how that works is whenever you put it on, right? Like that. So you can see it's kind of like a half and half. You can see how half of it is from the bottom case, the other half is from the top case. Whereas this one, it's all going to be on the top case, right? Yeah. So the screw holes are I don't want to say alternating, but they're not going to be like universal. Maybe Holly can explain why he designed it that way, but it's mostly going to be on, you know, these 4 on the outside. But just a little interesting note there. Here, I didn't mention it, but this nose is not adhesive. It's actually the same as like a tadpole mount, right? Or yeah, like a tadpole mount. So you can actually take it off and then you can just boop it back in. So it is like a soft silicone, right? And then looking at the top case here, you can see there are the cutouts for the heart engravings. So the back is going to be circled, so that's to make sure that the LEDs will sit in, right? So there's less light bleed, but then at the top, instead of making a circle, they've milled out these little hearts, right? So to really give it that shape. I mean, essentially you could do any shape that you wanted, right? But the biggest thing is making this part big enough so that the LEDs, as you can see right here, actually fit in and don't cause any light bleed. So for those who are like, what is light bleed? Light bleed is, for example, like say you were to turn caps lock on, but then it's so bright or it bleeds through like the second one, like num lock, for example. So then you can kind of tell which one is on, but it's not like very distinct. So that's what they call light bleed, is whenever the light bleeds through to like another indicator, right? So by having these walls so that the LED lights fit in, it reduces the risk of the light bleed. Okay, cool. Going back to the bottom case, looks like it does have the 4 screws for the inside weight. And I don't think, let's see. No, it's not. Okay. Why DGE? What's DGE? Sorry. Oh. Okay. Push that up here. So we'll look at the plate really quick. Oh, I see. Are you asking about the screws? Why it's alternating like that? Okay, let's see. Here's the plate. So you'll have 4 plate options, right? Holly? Holly, soak up. Okay, but here's the plate. You can see that there are the cuts, right? And this is gonna line up where the O-rings line up as well. Oh, asking why you alternated, like the half post, no post. Yeah, let me snooze that. Looks like there are no flux cuts on like the alphas or like the keys itself. It's mostly going to be for these, just mostly up here for the plate. So these are essentially like gasket tabs, but it's connected all the way through. And there are the leaf spring cuts right here that line up with where the gaskets are. Right, so let me show you guys. So you can see, lines up directly where the gaskets would sit, right? Hello, Marshmallow. How you doing? Hello. Look at that. Look how cute. It's just like the nose right there. I know. I feel bad for Holly because he's like, how do I tell people it's actually a good design, not just cute ooh woo? I'm like, well, the cuteness factor definitely adds a lot to it, but like, I'm sure anyone who likes the F1 and sees this will be like, oh, that's a nice mounting style. So don't worry, Holly. The board is definitely more than cute ooh woo. Yeah. Okay, here's the PCB. So also no flex cuts, right? You can see the little Keycap playing with the LEDs. Ooh, this is the hot swap PCB. Looks like you do have a choice of split backspace. You could split the right shift. Bottom layout is going to be set. Looks like you can split the left shift. You could do step or regular caps lock. Right, no perky LED. Looking at the back, looks like there is a reset button, like a physical reset button. So the cable, the cable will go in the middle. Cute. But yeah, so for the hot swap, you do have different layout options. They were pre-soldered, but I was also sent this. Like I didn't do these stabs or the LEDs, but I'm assuming they're going to be pre-soldered. I think it doesn't really make sense to sell a hot swap PCB and then like tell people you have to solder the LEDs. So I'm assuming they're going to solder it on, but let's see. Perhaps there is something in the product page that mentions it. Because, yeah, it just doesn't really make sense. Oh, you have to? That's... Really? Oh, okay, well... Sorry, Marshmallow. Sorry. Oh, you have to solder it on yourself. I see. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah. I understand why people don't like soldering on LEDs. I get it. Yeah. I mean, if you buy Nyawice, you need someone to solder on the LEDs for you. I can do it for you guys. Just hit me up. I probably won't be bothered to do it on my... But I think one of the selling points is the fact that the LED shapes, it's a heart LED shape. It's so cute. Like if it were like plain Jane, regular circles, I could understand why, but they're hearts, right? Oh, also, I didn't mention this, but the plate does have the LED cutouts right there. I mean, I don't mind soldering it. It looks really nice on mine. Yeah, I know. We're just glad to have it, right? We're just glad the board is happening at the end of the day. Okay, so they gave me a bunch of O-rings, but you guys will have 3 choices. Um, these rings, or these were not cut out all the way through. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know if Holly has a recommendation, but the O-rings do go all the way across, or this cutout does go all the way across. So this one, whenever I got it, it was just, like in the middle. I don't know if there's like a certain preference for how this should or should not be done according to Holly. But I mean, as long as you have something there, right? Because I've seen some people do like here, like cut it up. I've seen people do like all the way across, and I've seen people not do it all the way across. Okay, but you can experiment with how you want this cut out, right? Like it, well, what I'm asking is that this doesn't have to go all the way across, right? Unless you think it's best for it to go all the way. I mean, there probably is, right? Well, the only reason I ask is because some people will see it and think that's the only way you can build, right? Some people will see that and be like, oh, that's how, XXW built it, so I need to build it like that. But that's why I'm getting clarification that you can essentially put it wherever you want. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way. I just don't want people to see it and be like, I can only build it that way, right? So if Holly says you can do it however you want, then you guys heard it here. So if you are building this and you do want to, experiment, like this for whatever reason, then you can do that, right? It's just, as Holly said, as long as these are all flush, right? It's the same as the top and bottom, and it closes, you're good. No, I'm simple. I'm simple. I would just do one long way across right here, or I would maybe do like one and one right here. Like I don't I don't want to think when it comes to building keyboards. I honestly, okay, maybe this is a hot take, but I honestly cannot tell the difference between really subtle changes. I mean, you can tell when it's like a big change, but I feel like sometimes when it's like so minute where it doesn't really matter, I'm just like, I can't feel the difference. Some people though can definitely, right? They can feel like, oh, I can tell you went from like a 0.75 poron to a point 0.8 poron. It's like, what the heck? Why wouldn't you put it all the way across? Honest question. It's just different. So for example, right? It's the same when it comes to like gaskets. So gaskets providing like the cushion, and say like you want it even softer or even more flexy, you could opt to like not put the gaskets. So, the middle would be quote unquote more flexy. So that's just like one broad example. But it's just if there's a very specific typing feel you're looking for, right? Um, you can experiment like that. Mm-hmm. So some people like, you know, stiffer alphas but softer mods. So that's one way they can experiment, right? So if you don't put like the gaskets here, there won't be that like feedback from, you know, the leaf springs. Yep. And that's the beauty of having these things that you can experiment. But I'm not a super feeler, so I'm just going to do it regularly. There's some people who really do like to experiment, right? But I unfortunately am not one of those. Unless there's something very specific, right? There are some people who would take keyboards and mod it to their heart's content. And more power to them. I'm very happy for them. Okay. So these have all been separated. So let's see. I'm just gonna do this one. That one feels the stiffest. So I like softer O-rings, so I'm just gonna go for one of these. And then I am just gonna be basic and, you know, cut one that goes all the way across. So I'm not gonna use these. So I think there's a 50, 70, and 90 that you'll get. Yeah, 50, 70, or 90. These all up. I don't know who else is going to be streaming, but if you guys are interested in another build, Apiary actually did build this unit, so I'm assuming her stream will be up. But as for like other streamers, I'm not sure who Canon Keys asked or is going to be asking. I'm assuming Diego might be one, or Diego has built it. But I feel like Diego with Kiwi definitely should build it. If Canon Keys is looking for another builder, I would highly suggest Diego. Or even Marshmallow if she takes keyboard builds these days. I just cut this up. Oh wait, speaking of Marshmallow, I'm actually so surprised you got your Pikachu, your Pokemon Dust Mat. I heard from Zuabi, and I almost bought that dust mat too, but ended up not. I'm glad you guys got it. Yeah. Oh, you got it too? Yeah. I was I was very happy for you guys. We love a happy ending, honestly. If the carrying case is not cat-shaped, I don't want it. Um, I mean, this is the carrying case I got. I mean, some cats are loaf, so kind of close, right? My cat's definitely a big loaf like this. So we go on like, oh, that's cute. I didn't realize, but there's also a cutout so you can see the cat. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's really cute. Love that. I'm putting on the O-rings right now. Yeah, Holly seems like a very, well, I don't know. Sometimes Holly seems like a very vibes. Like, why did you do that? It's like, I don't know. It's just cute. I don't know. It seemed cool. Like, okay. Also, yeah, the dogs are barking. You know what? Yesterday we had a very nice encounter with a strange man while we were walking. So for context, Ginkgo does not like other dogs. Like she lives with two dogs, but whenever it's like a new dog she doesn't know, she's just not very friendly. And she's definitely, someone who sees like certain people or places or things as like hers and will like resource guard kind of, but it's just, long story short, she's like aggressive with other dogs, but she she's not, she's all bark, no bite, right? And so we've done a lot of things. Like when she was younger, we took her to like classes to socialize her. We took her to like dog parks. We tried like play dates, but it's just for some reason she just does not like other dogs, which is fine. Like sometimes that's just how dogs are. Um, but yesterday we went to the green belt. We went to take her on like a walk, and there was another dog there, and the owner, so it was a black lab, and the owner was walking their dog, and naturally Ginkgo like started like barking at them. And so the guy was walking with like his daughter and his grandchild, so I guess he gave his dog to his daughter, was like, go on without me. And then we had Ginkgo on the side. She's just kind of sitting, we're waiting for them to pass. And this guy basically hands off his dog and starts walking towards us. Um, and then I kind of start panicking because I was like, oh god, this guy's coming to tell us, like, he's coming to be like, what's wrong with your dog? Not that that's ever happened, but I feel like when someone's like approaching us like that, I was kind of like, oh shit, what's going on, right? So he approaches us and he's like, can I pet your dog? He's like, is she friendly with humans or is it just like a dog thing? We're like, oh, she loves humans. Like yeah, you can pet her. And then he starts talking to us. He's like, I read an article how like no matter what you do, some dogs are just like that. And he was like, but I've been watching a lot of videos. And he was like, and apparently the way to train them is to basically show them that everything is okay. So if you ever have like a friend or someone that you can just kind of like walk separately but also alongside and like help her get used to the fact that, there are other dogs and that it's okay. He's like, I bet it will do wonders, right? Just like the sweet old man, and was telling us like my girl, like his black lab was like super sweet, and that if we ever saw each other at Greenbelt, like we could walk alongside each other to help our dog. And he was just like petting Ginkgo, was like, she is so sweet. He was like, just some dogs are like that, like he was very understanding, despite the fact that Ginkgo was just like, I'm gonna kill your dog. Yeah, it was just like a very like, oh wow, you're so sweet. But I just had that like, oh god, is he coming over to be like, you need to watch your dog, right? No, he's just like, I wish you could meet my girl. He's like, I think once you get to know her, you would know she's very sweet. And so it was a very like, oh wow, that was a nice experience. I just feel like you never know these days. Also, let me grab switches. I will be right back. My cat is meowing. Okay. I'm gonna use these macchiatos. Yeah, let's use those. Oh my god. Hold on. You wanna go back in there? Okay, I'm back. Yo, what's up? Oh, orange keyboards? You know what? There was something I was gonna send to Avo actually. It's a flash game of an orange cat and you're brushing it and you're trying not to die. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Brushing cat game. Oh yeah. No. I'm saying that because Avo has an orange cat as well. Okay, wait. I'm gonna link this game so you guys can play it. So it's an itch.io game. It's just like a web browser flash game, but you're supposed to brush the cat and not piss it off. What is double Y? This is so scary. Yeah. That's how it feels like sometimes brushing Cosmo. I actually have one of those cat hammocks. So it's kind of, oh god. So basically it's this like cat hammock where you put your cat's legs in each one of the floors and then you lift it up so then they're kind of like this. And you could just hang it on like the shower while you like brush them and they're just like hanging. A lot of groomers use it, but it's just, I understand the fear of grooming cats. Because Cosmo will scratch the shit out of me. She will tolerate it, but she will like run away after a little bit. And then like sometimes she'll just like start like like biting the brush. Kind of like stop. Like it feels good, but after a little bit she does get like annoyed. She's just like stop. Or she'll like run away. But with me she will tolerate it. With my mom she'll tolerate it, but it's like if Connor starts to brush her, she'll literally like get up and walk away. Oh yeah, you guys get to hear the birds. Rare birds. We had a massive... So my aunt essentially asked us to save Ginkgo's fur so she could stuff it with like a doorstop chicken. Because she crochets these like big chunky chickens and she stuffs it with like fur instead of like cotton. And then my mom also started collecting Ginkgo's fur to like wash and then like knit later. It's like all sorts of things, but I basically like brushed her after like before her shower, after her shower. It's just like this huge pile of hair. Hello, fruit. Thanks for the tier 3. Oh wait, I think. Oh, tier 3. Wait, I think I can upgrade. I can update that. Thank you. Oh, nice. Yes, I can upgrade this. Someone actually did a off-stream tier 3 sub. Also surprised. Wait, someone typed the number 1 for me. So type the number 1 for me. Thank you. Paste. Nice, nice. I appreciate that. Oh, like copy paste, yeah. Yes, we're about halfway to it. We're currently at 211 points. So we need about like 90 more points. So I think if we can get like, let's see. Wait, someone do the math for me. If each tier 3 sub is 6 points, divide that by 90. How many tier 3 subs do we need? Okay, yeah, we would need 15. And then we hit it. We need 16, okay. No, so the 200, so right now I have 21 tier 3s. If I hit 50 tier 3s, I hit the 300 automatically, not including tier 1 and tier 2s. But currently I'm sitting at 211 sub points with all of the tiers. So I'm about 90 points short. So if I get like another 15 or 16 tier 3 subs, between that and like the tier 1 and tier 2s, I would hit it. So 50 is like the ultimate goal, but I mean, if we don't hit the 50, it's not the end of the world because we still have tier 1 and tier 2 subs. Because I know not everyone can tier 3 sub for 3 months. Yeah, we're getting close though. We're getting close. For those who need context, I'm basically doing a +2 push. If I get 300 sub points for 3 months, I unlock the 70-30 split for a year. And so we're doing that push right now, which is why it says 21 out of 50. Oh, also fruit. Wait, is fruit here? I glazed your cup, but they didn't fire it, unfortunately. But I did glaze it. I'll show you. I don't know if you could see it, but it's right here. I did glaze it. Yeah. I should, well, they didn't fire my pieces, but hopefully they do another mid-range firing soon. Hopefully. Okay. I'm gonna be doing an IRL stream later. I'm kind of nervous. Kind of nervous. Kind of nervous, kind of excited. Okay, right there. We're going to a Studio Ghibli pop-up event that I almost fended at, by the way. I don't know if you guys remember when I was rated by, here, I'll link her stream. But she rated me a few days ago and she actually invited me out, so I'm pretty excited. It will be my first time meeting her, but I think it's gonna be good. Look here. She seems really cool. Like, she does IRL. She also does autocross. And yeah, we're going to a Studio Ghibli pop-up thing. Yeah. She's so cool. She followed me and I was like, yo. Yeah. Let's see. Her Instagram. I'll link her Instagram. Motorsports, I should say. Yeah, she invited me to do an IRL stream. I was so surprised. You guys, I've never done like an IRL stream in public. So it would be my first time. And then maybe if we become good friends, we'll do more IRL streams in the future. So it was to meet her around 6:30. I'm nervous. She seems so cool. Oh wait, Inkblot is here. I actually just did a remaking the Calcifer bowl. I just threw it. I just need to trim it. Wait for it to finish. And then I'll paint it and stuff. Yeah. I need to glaze 2-1's commission, but I saw this really cool glaze effect that I should send it to him, but it almost looks like fish scales, so I was thinking maybe I could do that. I think it would look really cool. Good morning. Hello. How's your sciatica? You know what's funny? I was doing leg ups, like the ab workout where you have like, you like lift yourself and you're like hanging there and then you like do leg ups, so it's like an ab movement. And then I had this like weird pinch on my leg, and then my trainer's like, oh, maybe it's the beginning of sciatica. And I was like, what? Well, we found out it's not, but it's like, oh damn, like my friend just going through that right now. To one, remind me to send you the glaze thing I saw. Because I think it might be really cool for your commission piece. I was spasming so awful last night, I didn't really sleep. Oh my god. It looks like... Okay. It almost looks like water ripples or fish scales. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But I saw it, I was like, dang, maybe. If it's not in my hearts, then GG. We'll see. It was so cool though. Oh, watch streak. Hello, Ziner. Hello. I'll be right back. I'll be right back to use the restroom. Also bring the birds up too. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Which guy? There's this one person who I'm friends with on TikTok, and he throws really weird shapes. So I wonder if it's the same person. Okay. Also, what keycap should we use for this? I don't know. I I do have peaches and cream, but it's on a different board. Let's see. I don't think I have like any orange keycaps like off the top of my head. Nope. Hold on. Let me see. It's the R1. R1 actually. Hold on, I'm checking to see if this is actually in here. But it might not be. Hold on. It's not. Okay. When olives fails, we just use beige, right? Oh wait, I actually do. Oh, it's right here. Wait, hold on. Oh, no, it's empty. Oh no, I don't know that person. What do you guys think? I don't have any orange sets other than peachy, but it's on a different board. I have this one, which could be cool. This is DSA File Bloom. It's a really old set. Let's let's do it. What? File Bloom? I know, right? I know. I don't think they're even selling. I don't think they're selling keycaps anymore, right? Do you? But SP is still doing stuff, right? Yeah, right? I think, if I remember, this was a UK brand. This? Exaplay, yeah. Yeah, that works. I want to say last I heard he was talking to Jay about taking over the inventory they had left, but I don't know if that ever happened. Oh, Jay did? Then then I don't remember who Max Supply was talking to about their old stuff. I think I actually left that Discord because they were like, yeah, we're closing shop, so, and I was like, okay, so I left it. If I put this 8 right here, does that look close enough to B? It kind of does, right? A little bit. What's a good thing about BSA? You guys, what do you think? I think it actually looks really good. Unless I'm coping right now, as some of you would say. I was actually thinking about using soju, but it doesn't quite match. Okay, whatever. Whoa, look at that. That looks cool. I know some people don't really like gradient sets on Alice, but I love it. I like it. It's good. Yeah, I was actually thinking like what other orange keycap sets there are. There's like it was Calico Orange. I don't remember. Let me see. In terms of keycaps, uh GMK, Peaches and Cream. But that orange is actually slightly different. You could do Nigiri? Nigiri? Uh, there's GMK Orange Boy, which I think might be the closest. There's Thai tea. Uh, at least this is like what's available on Canon Keys. Looks like, oh no, they're sold out. Oh, they're sold out of those too. Oh no! Wait, what do you... You're not gonna be able to buy it? No! Time to sell other boards so I can buy this board. No! That's the worst. Okay, let's do a typing test. This is Alu. Oh. Ooh. God. Where is this? Do you have the JSON file for this? Oh, it's file. Okay, got it. Got it. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's why. Space. There's one Alice board that I'm waiting for. If they ran it, I would probably instantly buy it, and it's Wampus if it ever comes out. If it ever comes out. Just still checking board comes with all. I think it only comes with one, but you have, there are 3 options. Okay. Cool. All right, let's do a typing test. Quote time 60 theme. Do you think Vile Bloom? No. Great. Oh, my eyes. Did you guys see anything? I can't. Oh, my eyes. Is there perhaps another dimmer orange set? Pink lemonade. God, they're all so bright. Tangerine. Oh, okay. Tangerine is good. I like tangerine. I can actually tell. Okay, okay. So this test we're using Alu plate with Atrium X macchiatos. Let me mute real quick. Alright, chat. This is the Nyawice. We're building it with an alu plate and HMX macchiatos. This is DSA Vio Bloom, and we're using the 50A O-ring. Hello, Mango! Thank you for the raid! Sorry, I was in the middle of a type test, but I appreciate it! Hello, Raiders. My name is Patricia. I don't normally stream at this time, but we're doing an early stream. Today we're building the Nyawice, which is actually in group buy right now. Right meow, I should say. And yeah, this is, let's see, 50A, Duro. It's like the F1 leaf spring mounting with an alu plate, HMX macchiatos, and this is DSA Vile Bloom, which is a really old set. But yeah, Nyawice in group buy right now for about a month. I think it's live on most vendors at the moment. And this is the prototype, super cute board. We're actually gonna do one more plate test. We're gonna try it with the, I think it's PC. We're gonna do it with the PC plate, and then we'll be done. But yeah, if you're new here, my name is Patricia. I build and review custom keyboards. And I play a lot of games and sometimes do pottery. So thank you, Mango, for bringing people over. I don't normally stream at this time, so we're just doing it early because I might be doing an IRL stream later tonight with another streamer, so. I just changed your legal name though, so probably keep the username. Oh my goodness. Are you okay with that? Like, are you okay keeping your username? Let's see. Let me take this all off. Wait, should I still call you by your username then? Also, I don't think I have any mods here right now. I think they're all... But no, Justin's here. Can I get a shout out for Mango? Thank you. Thank you. What did you guys think? How did it sound? Oh, wait. Is it because you got Married. Or is it different? Okay, okay. I mean, I didn't know if it's like a secret. I like macchiatos. They're alright. I mean, in terms of HMX switches, I think emos are still my favorite, but I've talked about this previous stream, so I just feel like at some point HMX all just kind of like sounds the same. There's like I feel like there was a certain threshold where they kind of sounded distinct, but now they just all kind of are like same-ish. But I bought a lot of these switches a while ago, so I've just been like reusing them. I should buy a new set. Oh yeah. Oh, were you the one who's shocked when I was like, I don't know if I like yogurts. I think they're cute, but okay, yeah, I remember that. I'm drinking chicha. It's a green tea with konjac. No, I don't think so. But I mean, I have them, so I use them. Yeah, basically. Oxy, I want you to know that you think you made a funny, but you need to just leave. Leave your MX Blacks at the door. Time for a change. Yeah, for someone who I viewed as very trendy, you're not very trendy with those. Yeah, okay, yeah, see. Those are very trendy. You like MX Blacks? Yes, I actually have the pink one right next to me. I don't remember how it went down, but I was like, Holly, I will pay for the proto. If you need money for proto, then I will pay for you to prototype it. And that's how that happened. I did. I didn't even try to pronounce it because I know I could not. Now that you're Italian, have you had zucotto? I love zucotto. Wait, Cola Santi? Ariola Lucia? Oh, it's not Lucia, it's Lucia? Oh, that's not too bad. Oh yeah, yeah, sorry. No, I was just reading it fast. Ariella, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we just did one configuration, and now we're gonna do the second, and then we're done. It kind of reminds me of like when someone is like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Patricia," and they're like, "No, what is your real name?" I'm like, "Patricia." They're like, "What's your Chinese name?" I'm like, "Oh, that's what you wanted to know." They're like, "How do you pronounce your real name?" So Xing Wang is a play on my Chinese name. My full Chinese name is Wang Yixing, okay? But that's separate from my Chinese name. But I've had people say like, "Oh, your name is Patricia, so your Chinese name is translated to Patricia." I'm like, "No, not quite." They're like, "Then what's Patricia in Chinese?" And I'm like, "I have no clue." And it's like, "Then what is your real name?" It's like, it's Patricia. But you know what? I think Chinese names are not too bad. Italian names don't seem too bad. I feel like it's Thai names that I'm like, oh my god, how do I say it? I know, Thai names are just like, well, there's like Thai names, but then there are like Thai nicknames, which are also really funny. It's like, what's your nickname? And they're like, Apple. And it's like, what's your real name? And it's like some tongue twister, but you can call me Apple. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, there's this one TikTok creator where she does like the Thai nicknames, and she's like, "What's your name?" And they're like, "Butter." Like their English nicknames are just like weird. Waterfall. It's so crazy. But then you ask them your real name, you're like, okay, you know what? I was just gonna call you Waterfall. Who, me? My grandma is mainlander. My mom, born in Taiwan, though. My dad is from Hong Kong. Goes by Molly K, yeah. You someone's literally translating a game came out to Pig on a Roof or something. Yeah, it's like some of the translations are kind of crazy. I feel like I kind of understand the sentiment of like thinking, you know, that my English name might be translated to my Chinese name because there are instances of that. So like for example, my baby cousin, or I guess he's not baby anymore. My younger cousin, Um, his name is like Ethan, and then Chinese name Eason, which is doctor, but you know, it phonetically it sounds like that, right? So I can kind of understand like, well, what's your Chinese name? Thinking it might translate, right? Because I had another friend whose name was Wendy Sung, and it's like, what's what's your English name? And it was Wendy Song. Oh, sorry. Her name was Wendy Song, but her Chinese was name was Su Wendy, right? Su Wendy. So I can kind of understand like thinking there might be a translation because sometimes there is, right? Yeah, her name is Su Wendy, and then name was Wendy Sun. But there's never like a direct translation. There's always just like phonetically sounding, right? How's Japan trying to pick up kanji, trying to match sounds to your English name? Insect and the verb to exist. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean a lot of Asian names are very strategic with like the characters and the translations. But then when you try to do the same like from English to like an Asian language, it could be something completely different. I mean, just don't think too hard about it, you know? Just don't think too hard about it. Yeah, I've actually had this discussion with my cousin before, just like a lot of common Asian names or Chinese names. Vivian is one of them. I know a lot of Jennifers. And like guys, I know like a lot of Davids. Um, a lot of Kevins. Yeah. But yeah, actually, so Patricia's not that common, but I love, so I there's like a local taco truck I go to. And it's so funny because I'll go up to them and like, I have an order for Patricia, and they're like, Patricia? Patricia? And I'm like, oh, Patricia. And they're like, ah, Patricia. You know, it's so funny. So anytime I go up to them, I have to be like, I have an order for Patricia. Because when I say Patricia, they're like, Patricia? So I like the way my name is said in like Spanish. Patricia. But there's like no Asian Patricias. In my whole life, I've only met two Patricias, right? Loki makes it sound European fancy, yeah. It's just so funny. And so now the guy sees me and he's like, oh, Patricia! Hola! I'm like, hello. Yeah, definitely cannot just say Patricia, because they won't know what I'm saying. Your cousin's name is Patricia? That's crazy. Oh my god. What if... No, just kidding. Yeah, California is different. You guys have everything up there. My name actually does have meaning though. We went with this kanji instead. Lion of God. Nice. Way better than Antics picture. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that would be a really funny story. Like, what is your name mean? Oh, Antics picture. It's like, what does that mean? It's like exactly what it sounds like. That's all you need to know. Oh wait, too, and I just saw your message. It's so cool, right? I think it would go really well with like fishy, like the fishy. Boop, boop, boop. That is true. I wish I had more time in Taiwan, or else I would have gotten like a traditional stamp. I have one from Korea, but I mean it's the same but not quite the same, you know. It's like I have my Korean stamp, but it'd be cool to have like a Taiwanese or China stamp, you know. You can, but I just think there's something very unique about the experience of like going there and like seeing it and picking it out and then picking it up, you know, like the experience. Oh, kill switch. Yeah, right. Because you were asking about blue, but I feel like, you know, sometimes glazes are so like one dimensional, but when you do like that crazy combo, I feel like it would look really cool. So I was thinking maybe that would be a better option. Hello, kill switch. Are you at work right now? I was telling chat how I'm gonna be doing an IRL stream later, potentially. She might not go because of the weather. But if all works out, then you might see me on an IRL stream. So that would be cool. That's why I'm doing my keyboard stream at this time. Oh, nice. You're just chilling at home. We're building the Nyawice today. Highly anticipated board. You know what? I was actually updating my website, and you know who I haven't seen in a long time is Bear Cables. I know he just got married and whatnot, or married a while ago, but I was just kind of like reminiscing about all these vendors. Yeah, it's Dodo. I had to take a lot of vendors off my affiliate list. I took Keycap off. Like, who do you buy from now, Oxy? I heard Keep Gem was also kind of not in a good spot either. Just from Jay, yeah. I hope Jay stays in business for a long time. Yeah, I haven't really bought anything either. The last thing I got was 205G lube, but that wasn't even for me. That was Couple buying it for me. Okay, this next one is going to be a PC plate. Okay, give me 1 sec. Alright guys, so now we have the PC plate, still HMX macchiatos, and still DSA viable. Okay, one thing I will note is that the plate actually did make a very big difference in terms of typing feel. So if you're looking for something with like a harder feedback, then aluminum, which is going to also be like louder, is probably the way to go. So if you like the more stiff typing feedback, but whenever we swapped to the PC plate, it was definitely a lot softer, right? So if that is something to like keep in mind whenever you're buying like the different plates. Granted, the gasket or the O-ring positions might also attribute to, the typing feedback that you get. But this is just me speaking on if I just have the O-ring like straight across the top and bottom. Of course, you can always experiment, and I would recommend for you to experiment, like if you do get this board, but I'm sure like most of you already know like the PC plate is softer than the aluminum plate, but you can really feel that whenever you're typing. Because whenever I was typing with the aluminum plate, like I did not fatigue, but it was definitely like, oh man, right? But then as soon as I swapped to this one, it felt a lot easier for me to type on, mostly because I don't like that harder feedback, but some of you might. And so also dependent on like the switches. So there's like a lot of factor, but in terms of my build configuration, I'd say moving from the aluminum plate and the PC plate was actually a very significant typing difference. In terms of sound, yeah, it was quieter, but I mean, this is all stuff that you guys may already know as people who are in the hobby. But if this is going to be your first board or you don't have very many boards, I would say that definitely be mindful of that. And it mostly just telling you guys that this board, you can definitely feel that difference. There are some boards whenever you swap from like alu to PC, right? If it's like gasket, there's not much of a difference. like you can't feel much of a difference, but this one I definitely could. I still find it so hard to explain to people how to choose a plate that's right for them. Yeah, I mean, and it's different for each board, right? Because some boards, you know, you think the PC plate is going to be like a little like quieter, but then some boards it's actually not. So it's hard, right? Um, I think usually the safest choice is picking just like something that's like in between, but you know, it's difficult. Oh yeah, I think I actually would have loved half plate for this. Maybe that's something. Holly, are you releasing the plate files? Is half plate even possible for a board like this? Maybe not because you need this part? Not sure. My agar with PC plate is significantly louder than my agar with alu plate. Yeah, it's like one of those things where like, it's like you think you know it because it just sounds like, it seems like common sense, but then there are some boards that don't follow that rule. So you're kind of like, oh shoot. Then how do I recommend it? I mean, it sounds like a cheap cop-out answer, but the answer is to just get all the plates and try it out, right? Um, and then figure out which one you like. But it just really depends. I love half plate on my F1, F2. This is basically, yeah, this is basically an F1, but in a cute meow, uwu, Nyawice fashion. So I still want to try halfway on my F1. My goodness. My husband wants to get the new mode Encore. Has no idea what play would feel best, but does know he wants it to be quiet. Does anyone have thoughts? Let us see. Mode Encore. The Series 3? I'd probably go POM or polypropylene. But I would go PP because I lean more towards PP, so you know. Oh, the 2026 version, let's see. I see the Encore. POM, carbon fiber, copper, aluminum. I'd go POM. Yeah. POM is definitely the way to go. Yeah, of course. Of course, that's what we're here for. I was told that someone DM'd me on Instagram. They're like, "Oh, you're still building keyboards? I thought you're done with. I thought you're only into pottery now." But I feel like that is a misconception. I still love building boards. I still love, you know, seeing everything. It's just there's not like a lot of new boards that I'm building, so it might seem like I've moved on, but I still enjoy building boards. Palm compared to PC, so I feel like PC is like so how do I explain it? So some people say PC is soft. I think PC sounds like really plasticky, and it's going to be actually stiffer than Palm, whereas Palm is going to be very soft. And yeah, it's similar to polypropylene or PP if you've ever tried that. But I think um, I've had experiences in the past where PC plates just sound like a little too uh, yeah, like plasticky. But sometimes Palm I feel like ends up being like too muted. Um, and so I feel like PP is kind of like my in between for everything, right? Yeah, if you don't like palm, then you probably won't like PP. But if you like PP, there's a high chance you'll like palm, right? Oh my god, what keyboard did you build? Okay, hold on. Iris, nice. But PP is louder than palm. I wouldn't say louder, but I don't know. I don't know like the direct numbers or comparison, but I will say most PP that I've built with have been a little firmer than the palm I've built with, but it really depends. They're both, I would say they're both not very loud. It's hard. It's hard to say because sometimes it could be and sometimes it couldn't, right? But they're just very similar that I don't know if I could, you know, confidently say like one is louder than the other, right? Let's see. Ibis. I have an ibis. I think it'll look good. I think it will look good if you're getting the orange one. Yeah, it's hard to say. Just know that they're very similar though. Okay, so we have done our two builds, so we're going to talk about it. Yeah, let's just talk about it. So today we built the Nyawice. This is actually in group buy right now if you guys are interested. So standard Alice layout, there are a lot of cute details to, I guess, point out. So first being is that it's a very thematic board. It's very cat-like board. You have the ears that stick out. You have the squishy nose, which is like a tadpole mount, so it's not adhesive. You can actually pull it out, but it is very like firm in there, but something you could boop. You have the whiskers on the blockers with a little heart, so the blockers are all filled. There's not really any empty space on this board, meaning that, you know, usually with Alice you have like a lot of empty space, but every space or larger space has been utilized. So even the top, because this part, instead of just being like straight across, it even has, you can see this like forehead right here. So you have the forehead, you have the nose filling, you have the whiskers filling the blockers, and then over here, so the indicators are actually hearts. So everything is very intentional, right? Lots of details. And you know what? I think it's honestly very genius that an Alice board has been made into a cat board. I feel like there's a lot of shapes that cats can become, and I'm glad that, you know, this keyboard was able to become this way. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest changes from the proto is, yeah, no longer that like cherry lip, you know, slope. And also the ears, the indents are, you know, a lot deeper. Cats, I mean, I feel like you can find cats in any shape, so I love that he took an Alice board, was like, I could see this being a cat board, and did just that, right? So with this board, there are no sharp corners other than like the ears, but everything you can see has been very curvy. Yeah, no more cherry lip. But you do kind of have this cherry forehead. You could put googly, put it like over here. Those are some wide set eyes. Or you could put like the eyes right here. Like, yeah, from the top, you can definitely tell it is a cat board. And then here is the side. So I actually think the side is also very well designed. So going back, you see the curves, and then here you can see the top and bottom, right? So the orange and the silver. So the bottoms for all the boards are going to be silver. And then here, once again, you have this heart cutout with like the little dots. And then you can see it's not just like an engraving, like it's an actual cutout, so you can see the bottom board. But it does have like the nice curve, and you can kind of see the board, the curve of the top side right here. You can see the little ears, right? And there's even a curve right here. So very curvy. And then here's the back. So you got the X and then the tail. So found out that this part is not just like a small weight, it's actually part of a larger internal brass weight, right? So it has a brass accent weight, but also a large internal brass weight inside. And then you can see the little ears again. These feet are adhesive. They're not like the tab will mount on the front. These are adhesive. And then here's the USB port. So centered USB port. Boop, boop. And then here is the front lip. So here you can actually see there's like a subtle seam all throughout the board, right? I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it does go all alongside the board. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the body line, yeah. So you can have flat sides, but the top profile is rounded. Yep. Holly's the designer, in case you guys don't know. So if you guys have any questions, please ask. Also, we opened this board up earlier, but internally, I could tell you guys that it does use the F1 leaf spring plate mount. So what that means is if you've ever built with the F1, you essentially have like the O-ring, you know, like the O-ring, hold on, let's see, where is it? So you have the O-ring that you cut out, right? Instead of the O-ring going all around the board like it does like the circle, what you do is there are 2 long cuts on the top and the bottom, and then you essentially friction fit the O-ring. So you cut it and you friction fit it on the top and bottom. And then the plate has these cutouts. So it has these cutouts, as you can see, and then this is actually where the O-ring would rest. So you can see the case will keep it in place, but you can see it would go alongside like that. So what that means is, so while I built it very standard, actually you guys can build it however you want. The biggest thing is making sure that you can close the case and that it, I would make sure it's symmetrical just so that you have, you know, that stability. But you can do one long O-ring like this, or if you're like, that's a little too, you know, stiff, you could do like one right here, skip this part, and then do another one right here. Like you don't have to just go all the way across, you can experiment. Say you want the space bars to not have, you know, not be, you know, as sandwiched, so you could just skip the space bar, right? So there's a lot of things that you can experiment, right? And there's also different O-rings. So you have the 50, there's also a 70 and a 90. So depending on if you like, you know, like a softer or a stiffer, that's also something to keep in mind. So the board has a lot of, you have options in terms of experimenting with how you want it to feel and sound, which I know for some people can be very daunting. But if you're someone who really likes to, you know, fine tune how a board feels and how specific parts feel, then you do have that flexibility here. The biggest thing I would probably mention is just making sure that you do it symmetrical so that there's actually something to, like, you know, keep it in place, and making sure that it closes all the way. Okay. No, you're good. I mean, I just built it normally, but some people really like to experiment. Also, another thing to point out is that this is a screwless or hidden screw case design, meaning that the screws are hidden underneath the keys. So let's see, I'll show you guys which keys that you'll need to take off. There are a total of 9 screws. So it's going to be 4 on the top and then 5 on the bottom. So let's see. Nine screws. Yeah. So if you are ever trying to open this without taking off your entire keycap set, you'll have to remove this key, then number 1, 3, and 4, 9, 0, the plus and the backspace, the left control and alt, left control, left alt, the big shift on this side or big spacebar on this side, and also the right control. Right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and sorry, you have to remove basically this whole row. So all the alts, all the controls, and the big space bar. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So these are the keys that you'll need to remove if you're just trying to take the board apart for whatever reason and not take all your keycaps off. So you don't have to remove everything, you just have to know that these are... Oh yeah, it's a single plate. Holly did say that there are half plates available, but I don't know if Canon Keys will release that. Yeah, it's just one plate, yeah. Yeah, so those are the keys that you'll need to remove. Okay, sorry, I was reading something. But yeah. Let's see, my thoughts and opinions. Actually, no, let's look at the product page before I go on to that. Okay, this is gonna be a flashbang, so pepper yourselves. Okay, so here we're looking at the Nyawice. It is live right now for about a month. Starts at $465. 4 colorways. You have orange, pink, lilac, baby blue. I have the orange. This is the pink, which is going to be a lot more pastel-y in real life. You have the lilac, right? And then you have the baby blue. Apiary mentioned having low expectations initially because it seemed more like a gimmick board than a well-rounded... Oh no! Is that why you posted your story? Okay, you guys. This board is more well-rounded than before it's cute. The fact that it's cute and well-rounded makes it like a very high-value board, in my opinion. Okay, who says you can't be cute without it being well-rounded? Okay, so if you guys think like, oh gosh, just like another cat board, if you like F1s, if you like, you know, Geon boards, you will probably like this board. And if you like Geon boards and you like cat boards, that this is like a combination of the two. It's well-rounded, but also cute. Okay. But anyway, I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry. But I think that's why Marshmallow said it's like, if you know type of board. But yeah, so you have a solder and hot swap. It looks like their hot swap option actually has different layouts. So here you can see some pictures. Am I buying? Alright, Inkblot, let me give you some backstory. I funded the proto back in the day. I have the original Nyawice. That's my pink one. I don't know if you've seen it. Like, I have the original. Let me grab it. This is the OG. It does have ears, it's just not as engraved. Patty has the first ever Nyawice. The project would not be here. Oh, yeah, I was listed as the sugar mama on the IG. Yeah, yeah, no, this is the original prototype. And then now this is the group by version. So the biggest difference, the ears are a lot more defined. So you can see it's like softer here. And then mine has this like nice lip, whereas this one is going to not have that. I'll see what, no, you're good. No, you're good. I've been in the hobby for too long. But yeah, so it looks like, here's everything you get. Add-on. So I think this is the most important part. So you can do hot swap or solder. You can get 4 plates. You can get alu, PC, carbon fiber, FR4. And then in terms of O-ring, you have 50, 70, 90. I'm a bit surprised that Cherry Lip didn't make it to the production version, but I do like the more accentuated ears. That's a Holly question. Is your proto different from this one internal-wise? I don't think so. But Holly can answer that. When I asked him, I think he said it was mostly just like the outside. Maybe Cherry Lip help with cost. Yeah, that's a Holly question. Do I call myself a sugar investor? No, I just, at the time, I really liked Alice. I still love Alice. And then I liked cats, because I have 3 cats, if you guys didn't know. So when I heard that he was looking for someone to help fund his proto, I was just like, yo, I got you. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember how the exact exchange went down. Yes, I built it many years ago. Actually, there have been people commenting on my YouTube video about it. They're like, we're so excited. The video was from like, what, 3 years ago? I just don't like it in combination with the round HE stuff. I mean, that's okay. I want to fund a Holly proto. I mean, I think Holly is always looking for people to fund protos, so I should have joined his Discord. Let's see. Holly. If you guys want to see his other projects, I think he has like Horsey. He has a lot that I don't know if has ran. There's like Nyawice, Horsey, Beetle. Beetle has ran. Fun Target Adventure, yeah. Perhaps another Holly question. Is there any way this board can be EC compatible? Holly? Let me see. Yeah, Beetle was really cute. Beetle was run by Novel Keys, if I remember. Patty X Patty collab. Maybe eventually. Let's see. I don't remember. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I think one day I was like, oh yeah. I think one day on stream I was like, Holly, I'll fund your proto. And then he sent me over a price list. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then we did it. The PC is very custom. No Numbers Patty reached out to me about an EC Alice. I decided it's too complicated because I had no vendors at the time. So you would consider it in the future is what you're saying. If it helps, I didn't notice, oh, the cherry lip. Yeah, I mean, there's like subtle differences between the two boards, but it's like nothing too crazy, right? Yeah, if you guys want sugar mama or sugar daddy status, Holly is always looking for investors. It just so happened I was like, Holly, I will fund it for you. I wish I could find the original message where I was like, hey, I'll do it. Yeah, 40s cat. There was a stacked acrylic 40s board that I built. Similar. But yeah, maybe there will be an EC version in the future. Okay, but yeah, so my final thoughts on this board. So, I mean, I'm a little biased, right? I'm a little biased and I love it. I will say that, you know, the price point is a bit higher than maybe what most people are used to seeing it these days. However, you have to understand that, you know, this is not your typical board, right? There's a lot more that went into it. Do you want me to weigh it right now, or do you want me to do it like after stream and send it over? Let me know. I can go grab my scale. At some point. Okay, got it. But yeah, so just something to consider that there was a lot that went into it and a lot that you don't normally see in boards. So for example, like the hard engravings. There have been some boards along the line that have had very specific, you know, LED engravings, but you don't see it very often. Also creating this, right, this silicone nose piece. I was on one hell of an AFK to come hello. Where you have mangoes. Mango dropped her community off here, so that's why. But yeah, there's just a lot of special in this board. So call me biased, but I think while the price point is a lot higher, that regardless, I don't think we have seen anything quite like this on the market before. There have been stacked acrylic versions, but nothing like aluminum. I think one point Holly did tell me that it did get cloned, but I don't know if that ever turned into anything. But this is like the original, right? I will say that whenever you're picking out your parts, is just be aware that the plates, I feel like, at least in my build, do make a difference. So definitely be more cognizant of that, right? Is the bottom one the proto from a while ago? Yeah, this one's my proto. Yeah, yeah. I was one of the original supporters of it. So that's why I have it here. I've had it for a long time. If you actually went to Cube Life or TwitchCon, you might have seen it. Because I brought it to Cube Life to be like, Holly, you need to run it. I think people tagged Holly was like Nyawice spotting. I don't know who else has a proto. Maybe Marshmallow? Maybe Phoebe? But I don't know if there's like multiple prototypes. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, basically, what I was trying to say is that, do I think it's worth buying? I think if I would not call this a gimmicky board. I can think of a few examples of boards that, you know, I did feel like was very gimmicky, but this one is actually very well designed while fitting that whole like cute cat aesthetic. If you like, the F1 mounting, then you will most likely like this board. So if you're looking for an F1 board, but you want it to be an Alice and you don't mind like the little cat theme going on, then this is like the perfect fit for that. But all things aside, like I personally love the boards, right? Oh, okay. So I think that one you typed on was probably was it Phoebe's? I don't know. I'm assuming Marshmallow has a proto as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Marshmallow has one. I really do think this is quality board first and then cute second. Yes. So I would say so as well. I would say don't look at it and dismiss it as just like, oh, it's just like another cute board, right? I think once you actually consider the internals, then you're just like, oh wow, right? Because it's not just like another. I don't want to shit on these boards, but it's not just like another, gasket board, right? Um, uh, it does have a lot of intentional design. I missed that whole thing because of ad break. Oh no, wait, where did it cut off? Yeah, sorry. The ads can be really brutal. This is one of the first prototypes. Yeah, the ads are still running. Really? Uh, Mine says next ad starts in 31 minutes. Are you guys still in an ad? Okay, let me know when you guys are out of ads. I'm free. Yeah, sorry. I mean, Twitch makes it so that you have to basically sub so you're not in ad hell. Reloading the page, I see. Okay, so yes, this is one of the original prototypes, but Marshmallow has one, and this has shown up at KeyCon and also at Keep Life. So if you went to either one of those, you might have seen this. And I was just saying how what Armida said, basically it's a quality board before it's a cute board, and I think that is very true. But as I was saying earlier, right, it's like Holly basically had this idea of a board and then also making it cute and like did both rather than focus on the cute. He did both. And so I was just saying I'm very biased. I love this board. I love the idea of this board. If you like Alice's and you've been looking for a F1 version, because who the heck knows when Gian is going to release his Alice board, right? This is definitely very good. Not to say that it's like a substitute, but it's just I love the way that the board looks. I love that the way it feels. I love that you can adjust the O-rings and you can, experiment if you really want to. I know, no shade to Gian. Sorry, Gian. Gian is my friend, okay? I've had dinner with Gian, okay? We're friends. I'm not trying to throw any shade, but basically, if you have that itch wanting that, this definitely checks off that box. So, in terms of is it worth it, I would say 100% if you, especially if you're like a cat enthusiast and you also like, Alice style boards. Like, if I didn't already have one of these, this would have been an instant buy for me. I mean, obviously, if you hate cats, then don't buy the board. But I do understand it is expensive, but hopefully my explanation of the board and why it is the price point that it's at, with like a lot of different designs and like the silicone nose and the engravings and the cutout and the two-toned, right, kind of help you justify the price. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. So it's just, if you decide to buy the board, you just really think about, the plates, because I felt like the plates actually did make a big difference. Um, and then I would say to buy different O-rings to also test around. Um, and what I mean by that is because it's not like a standard O-ring where you just need one. Um, one of these rings, if you cut it in half, right? So you basically need two of these rings, right? Because you put it on the top and bottom. So if you cut this in half, it's enough for the top and bottom, but then it's only enough for the bottom case and not the top case. So you need two of these rings. But if you plan on experimenting, I would actually recommend buying extra O-rings, just so, you could try like, O-ring here, and skip out in the middle, or you could do one shorter O-ring and not go all the way across, right? So just be aware of that. Don't just buy the two O-rings and then if you're gonna experiment, you're left there like, oh god, I don't have enough O-ring, right? So definitely buy more O-rings if you are someone who you think will want to experiment with it. Other than that, the build is very straightforward. Nothing too complicated. I think the biggest thing people will struggle with is friction fitting the O-ring in, right? You just want to make sure that it's on the top and bottom case, right? But other than that, like it wasn't too bad. I can justify the price, but IDK if my bank account will, yeah. I mean, definitely be responsible when buying the board, but in terms of do I think it's worth it? For me personally, it is, right? But I also recognize it is a little bit more expensive than some people might be expecting. I remember when it's only be a maybe friends and family board over 600. What did Holly say he wasn't gonna run it? Holly's been looking for a vendor to run it for a long time, right? And I think Cannon Keys was finally like, yeah, we'll do it. So thank you, CK, for running the board. Thank you to CK for sending the board out to me. I actually didn't think I was gonna be building this production unit because I already had the proto. So thank you, Cannon Keys, for reaching out. Thank you, Holly, for thank you, Holly, for actually, going through with it. And actually, pushing through and finally finding a vendor despite like how stressful it is, especially running these like very niche keyboards in this day and age. So, and thank you, Holly, for like even letting me, pay for a prototype in the first place, right? And I'm glad that I was able to kind of like rebuild the production unit. It feels like very full circle moment. Oh, that's what you meant. Kind of crazy paid for the proto yourself. Well, I'm pretty sure at the time Holly was a young man with no disposable income, and I was a working woman with disposable income, and I love Alice boards, so I think the story goes he literally came in and was like, I'm trying to find someone to pay for the proto for Nyawice. And I was like, okay, DM me. And then he did. I was like, okay, let's do it. He was like, wait, really? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, hey Patty, I made a breakdown for the price breakdown for Nyawice. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let me know how and where to send. And then we did it. There's a stupid horse in the way that costs way too much. It's so hard to move stuff. Yeah. I mean, if there's any Oilers in chat, you love Holly's board, you know where to reach him. He has a Discord. You could find the next prototype. That could be you, right? You could get a shout out in the next Holly IC for being a sugar mama or sugar daddy. If you really want to see our Small designers thrive. Wink, wink, you know. I just wish I could find a Reese that fits my tastes and needs. The closest was Valhalla. That was me until I found Bear 65. Horsey's so good. Yeah, it's a very cute board. But yeah, that's the board. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Canon Keys, for sending it out. Holly, good luck with the group buy. I hope it does well. I want it to do well. I'm manifesting that it does well. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching the stream. Yeah, I'm excited. It kind of feels very full circle that we finally have the Nyawice in group buy. What a relief. Well, actually, you have to wait for the group buy to be over and then it started shipping, then it's a relief. But I think the biggest step was just getting it into group buy, and I'm glad we have reached that step 3 years later. Okay, but let me end my YouTube stream. Bye, YouTube. That's it.